चले चल 12 बजे कर दुकान लेगा मैं
Which is what I do. I have those are best
Orange and whiskey marmalade. I'm going to get that.
Just that Burlington breakfast.
Right, okay.
Should I get some chili sauce?
Maybe, well, so let's go for 4 so far.
还不舍得吃吗？
that'll be good.
Stands. And I would just like to take less than a minute to explain the menu. On Black Forest Shoban with bun, sandwiches, smoked salmon with lemon butter, cheddar cheese. Hyvä se. Siis on paljon korolla.
This is chocolate cake, and this is enjoy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pancakes, please. Thank you. Enjoy.
Hello.
Teresa, just try to pay your rent. Pay, yes? Thank you so much, guys. And the door downstairs is open.
No allergy? Just here, okay?
Was die Schlange?
Sí.
Claro que no. fine, you crave it. No, I'd say one we make.
What's your favourite Christmas film?
And I'm like speed walking, and then like.
On the website, you can look when
Yeah.
come there.
Yeah.
Is that one for you? One is 16, two is 30, 3 is 50.
that wasn't really part of the plan. All right.
Ready to go, yeah? Okay, you go. Thank you.
Have you been here?
Be careful, I left one here.
You're welcome.
Which is a slightly smoky black tea, and then have a caramel.
So you want tail?
Adesivo non c'è, bollito.
Molto bollito.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green when summer's here, but also when it's cold and drear. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. For every year this Christmas tree brings to us such joy and glee. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me.
Joyful and triumphant, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exultation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God in the highest. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him, Christ